What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys joining in and taking a look at what we're trying to do here. This is the first podcast of the Innovative Collective, which is an entity of Innovative Society. Today, I got the pleasure of sitting here with Jonathan Steele, my business partner, the salt to my pepper.
Salt to your
That sounds
pepper.
so bad.
It works.
Jonathan Steele sitting with me, and he's my business partner. We started Innovative Society about 2 years ago, made it official a couple months ago with our LLC, and this is new to us. This whole podcast thing, the marketing of Innovative Society is new. So we're going to touch on Innovative Society today, and what we do, some of the stuff that we offer, and then we're also going to talk about the new kind of, I don't want to call it a movement, but the collective that we're starting for creatives, for anything from woodworking to music. So appreciate you guys tuning in. John, if you want to take a second to introduce yourself and go from there, I'll go after.
All right. Yeah, well, I'm John. I do web design full-time with Innovative Society and full-time job. I currently work at AACC, and I do IT, front-end web work, back-end web work, just a little bit of everything to kind of help out with the team that's currently there. And yeah, I'm glad to be a part of that team, glad to be, a part of Innovative Society is something we've worked very hard for. And yeah, in my free time, enjoy gaming, enjoy going to the gym.
I didn't ask.
That's fine.
About any of that stuff.
That's fine.
Yeah,
but anyways,
too much.
It
But
just is what it is. And
just joking, bro. You enjoy gaming. You enjoy
going to the gym.
long walks on the beach.
Long walks on the beach.
A good book.
Good book. I do like a good book.
Good cover.
But it's got to be
something.
like finance.
Finance.
Or like marketing. It can't be none of that.
In the
fiction.
Bible.
In the Bible. I did finish the Bible. Finished the whole thing.
Did you retain any of it?
Majority of it. Like the important parts.
It's all important.
Well, I know it's all important, but I'm saying like the key parts of like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm doing right now, dude. I'm doing a Bible study myself, and it's like, I didn't know that I didn't know how to study the Bible until somebody taught me recently. And dude, it's changed my whole outlook.
I feel like you gotta watch it or not watch it. You gotta read it
Yeah.
4 or 5 times
Yeah.
to kind of really retain everything. Like I can't recite the 10 Commandments, but I know some of them.
Yeah.
Recite like I'm learning to recite them.
That's awesome.
Like Moses, Jonah, all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
All the
David
stuff you
and
kinda learned
Goliath.
growing up, going to church.
Yeah, just a refresher.
Yeah,
mainly
that's
for
awesome.
the first time. So.
Cool.
Hey,
So,
man, what about you? Who are you?
I'm Kendrick Morrison. Okay, for those who don't know me, now you know. I'm a nobody. No. Other owner of Innovative Society. I do a lot of the front end stuff when it comes to the marketing. So for those of you who don't know what Innovative Society is, we are a content-driven marketing agency, production house, creative house, whatever you want to call it. Practically what we do from start to finish, we're able to take your business or your whatever you're pursuing and create original content all the way to the delivery on social media, your website, creating your website. We do all of that sort of stuff. So anything that has to do with advertising, digital advertising and promotions, graphic design. We've even got a voiceover actor on our team who just recently joined us. So we do a lot in the space of creativity and advertising. So what I do is I do the filming and the editing. I've been dabbling a little bit in the web design stuff, which is a headache in itself. I'm glad that you do it.
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
very
know
fun.
how to do some of it. I can create stuff pretty basically, but no, it's been an awesome journey. So I want to talk a little bit about that journey, right? I want to talk about like how Innovative Society started and how we've gotten to the point that we are today, which is far from both from where we both want to be with it, but a whole lot farther along in 2 years than I thought we would be, for sure. So, if you want to give the rundown of the story, because I like it a whole lot better when you tell it than when I do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just gotten out of a bad breakup,
Yeah.
and you were kind of in the midst of not enjoying your job and losing your job and your car blowing up. And, yeah, I mean, I just remember we went down to Lynchburg, which is where I live now.
Yeah.
And you were working for a dealership down there. I kind of spent the day with you. And then we came back up. Car blew up on the way back. You're like, bro, just go home. It's going to be a while. So I went home and was asleep.
It took a minute, bro.
It took a while. It took a long time because I think I got back by like 5:30, and you didn't get back till like 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
So it was like another 5-6 hours. And so I was sleeping on the couch, heard you walk in, so I woke up. And you're like, bro, I'm tired of working for people. Like, I just want to do my own thing. I want to, I want my paycheck to rely on my work, not somebody paying me.
Which is kind of weird, because people still pay us.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're growing it. We're not getting into something that's already being grown. That already has the growth and the foundation, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
being your own boss, per se.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, we had a good connection on that and had a good conversation. And eventually, you're like, all right, let's start our own business. And I was like, okay. And not knowing, I was like, okay, we're probably going to have this idea and never commit to it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll probably spend a week, 2 weeks brainstorming and then just give up. Because, I mean, at the time, we both were just kind of going through a lot of different things. And, I mean, we stuck to it, even though it was very difficult at times. Sat there for probably about 3-4 days trying to come up with a name. And then, when we kind of brainstormed that night, you said, hey, let's start a business. Like, it took us about probably 3 to 4 hours to come up with what we really wanted to do when it was sitting right in front of us the entire time. Like,
bro.
Let's just combine what we do full time.
Because you got, like, when we started this, you had been doing web design for about 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And like the IT work and the back end sort of thing. And I had been shooting at that point for probably about 6 or 7 years, and doing the videography and photography stuff on the side. And we went through so many things, like so many ideas of businesses before we were like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like it was like it was like a clothing company. We were gonna your side hustle for the vinyl. We were thinking about blowing that up, like trying to blow that up and make that a whole lot bigger.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a second, what's at the root of all this stuff? Marketing. Yeah. Yeah. So that was nuts. And the name, coming up with the name, bro.
Coming up with the name, and the name, I'll always remember it because you wanted creative culture so badly. Dude. You were like, I love creative culture. We looked it up.
I think I got that name off of a T-shirt that I already had, that I found at it was either like Ross or something, and I didn't. It was on the shirt, but that wasn't the brand of the clothing. And then we looked it up, and it was the brand of the clothing, but I don't think they're doing anything with it or. Yeah, I still like that name.
I know,
but
I like Innovative Society better.
I like Innovative Society.
I think we found a name, but I remember it took us 3 to 4 days to come up with a name, and we were so frustrated because like you would give out names that you liked, and I was like, I don't know, I don't really like that. I'd give out names that I liked, and you're like, bro, I just like creative culture. And I'm like, Kendrick, it's taken. We can't do that. I was like, I would like to do creative culture too, but it's taken. So then we came up with Innovative Society. It's stuck.
And it encompasses a lot. Like, it encompasses everything that we do, and along with, everything that we don't do that other people do that are getting involved with the whole collective. So, yeah, I mean, I love the name. I think it is very, very encompassing because there's a lot of ventures outside of just quote-unquote marketing that we do that can be rolled underneath of that, which is sweet. So, but yeah, I think that when we rolled out I'll call it phase 1 of Innovative
Let's
Society.
call it phase testing or phase 0.
Beta phase. It was like I just like when I came to you and said let's start a business. Like I hadn't lost my job yet. I lost my job like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a car. Didn't have a job. Had rent to pay. I was starting a business. was zero money to start a business.
Yeah.
And it was just like, bro, we need a website. We need a website. We need a website. We need a foundation.
Yeah.
And like in our head, like that was a hit. You know what I mean? Like when we started, it was like, we just need a website. Like, we get the website up, everything else will be perfect.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there and we went back and forth over the website because at that point I had no idea how to design a website at all. And so like if I felt like I was like a little kid holding dad's flashlight again when I'm like sitting over your shoulder, I'm like, no, John, I want it to be like this. What do you mean, Kendrick? Well, I want it to be like this shape, but kind of not like that, and like this color, but it needs to be tilted sideways and like 3D at the same time, and it needs to say all of this. And you're like, all right, that's gonna take me 6 days to do. And I'm like, well, why can't you just do it right now? Like, we're working on it right now. Just do it, John. But no, I'll never forget the time after all of that when I had to go get my car towed, like towed back from the shop an hour and a half away. So the car was getting towed. I had to go pick up the engine because I'd gotten the engine pulled out of it to go through it, and then basically looked at it and was like, there's metal everywhere.
Yeah, it's gone.
I'm like, oh, great. So I'm like, I wake up, and you were supposed to work that day and ended up not working. And so right before I left, I was like, hey, John, you gonna work on the website? He's like, yeah, bro. And like, you gotta think, John's like deep into playing this game already, and this video game that we started binge playing, and so I leave. I was gone for like 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that. I come home with the engine in the backseat of a Honda Civic. And I'm like so excited to see what John's gotten done on the website. And I walk in, and not only has John moved out of the office chair that he was in, but has moved the living room recliner into the office, has his feet propped up, snuggled up in a blanket, and all he does, I walk in, I'm like, hey John, how's the website coming along? And he looks at me and he's like, we're being rated.
Yeah.
And the game that we're playing is called Rust. I haven't played it really since then, but that's because I don't have friends to play with online, so I do, but they only play Modern Warfare, and like I get tired of that game sometimes. Anyway, that's besides the point. Rust. So basically, you drop into the map with nothing. Aren't you like naked?
Yeah.
Aren't you like in underwear or something?
You
like
get a
that?
rock torch.
Yeah, and you get a rock, which is basically how we started this business.
Yeah,
bro.
pretty
We
much.
had a rock.
Yeah.
We were like, all we needed. A rock was our website.
Yep, our rock was our website.
We're like, we just need this one thing and everything's going to be fine. But anyway, and you basically have to forage for materials, forage for food, clothing, all that sort of stuff, and survive. You build a base to protect everything while you're fighting all of these dudes with bows and spears. And then as the game goes on, you progress and you end up getting like guns and all that sort of stuff. But he walks in and he's like, our base is being raided. And I remember in that moment, I wasn't even mad about the website. But that's all I had been thinking about all day long was like, oh, I bet when I get home, John's going to have so much done. He's off today. He's going to have so much done. I get home and you're like, single tear down your face. And I'm like, this man has gotten in a recliner.
Yep.
But it's been crazy, man. Just the journey for the whole thing has been awesome. And what we're trying to do with it is the podcast is the Innovative Collective podcast. And we're starting this whole new portion of Innovative Society that is going to be a collective for creatives. Whether you do whatever, it literally doesn't matter. come in here and just, we're not sponsored. But speaking of, the sponsor of today's video is Innovative Society, digital media production. If you'd like to take advantage of our 50% off discount, we're going to be running it all of this camera. Every time I get close to this mic, doesn't focus on my face. But we're going to be running a 50% promo all through February because it's my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I'd like to take the time to tell you about this promotion that we're having. So if you book with us for anything except for our retainer packages on the website, you get 50% off. So check it out. It's going to be sweet. And thanks, Innovative Society, for sponsoring this video.
And our second sponsor.
We can get a real sponsor.
Celsius.
No, we're going to get demonetized. Put a black bar over it. Forgot my train of thought except for our sponsors. Our sponsors, they're pretty good sponsors.
Please sponsor us, Celsius.
Our sponsorship is pretty good, dude.
They are.
It's pretty good.
Pretty are.
It's like, they don't give us anything. So it's pretty...
Please, Celsius. Please.
I think the cat just pooped. That's so nice. Anyway, thanks for taking 30 seconds out of your day to watch that ad. But the collective. So we're going to be rolling out more podcasts. A lot more like topic oriented podcasts. We're going to have some graphic designers on here. We're going to have some musicians and singer-songwriters on here, some other videographers and photographers on here, some other web designers, and we're also going to be doing workshops where you guys can either come in if you know we have the availability to do that, and teach you a thing or two that we know, and maybe you could teach us something about what we do, what you do. One of the ones I think we're going to do is like social media. Mm-hmm. Like some social media training, some Photoshop training, like things like that, just to help you guys learn in a space that you're not only comfortable in, but in a place that you can legitimately ask questions. And if you don't understand something right there, hands-on, you can learn it, and we can figure it out together. So I think it's going to be pretty sweet. I'm really excited for it. But I got 2 questions for you.
Yep.
My first question for you is, what is your funniest moment from like all of us from us that you can remember since we've started Innovative Society, like between like the ups and downs and struggles that you've gone through and like that sort of thing?
The funniest moment?
Yeah.
It definitely has to be when we landed our first client. 2 days after we launched. We had worked March through June to get...
Wait, are you talking about like the day of that we secured that client?
Yes.
Bro, oh my gosh.
So March through June,
bro.
Built our website. Took us 3 months because we didn't really have we just started.
Yeah. Like
came up with the Innovative Society in March. Built a website in 3 months. Probably, we did this rebuild a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But besides the point, we launched in June of 2022, and we're like, all right, man, we got the website up. This is all we need. First client lives across the street from you, so we're like, all right, let's go.
This is a business. It's not like
it's a business.
It was a business that we went after.
Yeah.
2 days in. 2
days in, Kendrick's like, all right, I think I have a lead. We're gonna walk across the street over to this business, talk to the owner, and pitch of this idea. Granted, this was before we had contracts, proposals, anything like that.
Dude, I just like
it was a bullet point list.
It's just like you ever seen like the video of like the little kid in the really poofy jacket out in the snow?
Yeah.
Like that's how I imagine us, like with our little notebooks, like walking across the street, like we're gonna do it. Yep. We got this.
And I was sitting there, I was like, this is either going to go really good or really bad. And Kendrick's like, nah, bro, we got this deal in the bag. Like, we're going to land this deal. You got to have a good mindset. I'm like, you know what? You're right. So we walk over there full confidence, notebook in hand, take about 20, 30 minutes, pitch the guy our idea. We built him a website as well as doing some social media stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, I like it.
We did land the client.
We did land the client. He's like, I like it. Now... I want it in printed form because that's how he kept all of his files. And so...
No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
We'll be back in about 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Have it formatted for you in a contract form. Print it off.
No big deal.
It didn't take 30 minutes to an hour. It took 4 hours for us to print our first contract. Kendrick is throwing items across the room, cussing.
I was throwing things, dude. I was ready to burn the whole house down. And the worst part is, if he walked outside, he probably would have heard it all, too.
Kendrick's like, all right, shut the business down. Take the website down. We just wasted our money registering a domain, setting up the website. Like, just take it all down. I quit. Like, we're not in this business.
You can't quit, Kendrick.
I was like, Kendrick, we can't quit, bro. We're already in it. About 4 hours, and I'm like, Kendrick,
We still can't get this dang contract printed.
we can't get it printed. And then Kendrick's like, I'm like, Kendrick. And Kendrick goes, not right now, John. I need 10 minutes to just cool down. I'm very frustrated. He's been changing the ink, changing the paper, putting in different size paper. Nothing's working.
Trying to print it from my iPad, like trying to do everything I can to get this dang thing
And I'm like,
printed.
Kendrick. He's like, what? I pull a thumbtack out of the printer. I'm like, now try printing it. Print's perfectly fine.
Print's just fine. By that time, the store had closed. They had all gone home.
Yep.
I'm like, texting this dude, 5 more minutes, bro. I promise it'll be 5 more minutes. He's like, dude, I'm closing up. I'm going home. I'm like, all right, we'll get it tomorrow, bro. We'll get it tomorrow. Don't worry.
Walked over there tomorrow, signed it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah, dude,
We were all
that
hyped.
printer was going to cost us our entire everything. Like, it was this close. Yeah.
And we were excited. We're like, let's go. We're like, first client.
We walked in the door so high, bro.
Yeah.
We were planning on celebrating
We
afterwards.
made steaks.
We did
We made steaks.
Oh, man.
We had steaks and bourbon.
Oh, man. That dang printer. I swear.
We
All right,
deserved it
so-
after 4 hours of
Hey,
frustration.
I've never had another printer issue with that printer.
Just check for thumbtacks.
You just check for
Tip.
thumbtacks.
Your printer not working? Check for thumbtacks.
There's not a fork in it.
That's the first piece of advice from this podcast. Trademarked and copyrighted by Innovative Society.
Check for thumbtacks.
Yeah, check for thumbtacks.
But okay, so my second question for you is, what do you think like our biggest struggle has been as a business? Like, because I mean, we just started our LLC back in November, but we've been so proprieting since before then, and we've had a lot of ups and downs. Like, we've had a lot of like inconsistency with stuff. But what do you think our biggest obstacle has been?
I wouldn't say currently this is like our biggest obstacle because I think we've fixed the majority of it.
Yeah.
There's obviously still a long way to go, but I think for at the stage we're at now, we're kind of in a good place.
Yeah.
But I would say before we lacked a lot of structure. Like, for example, like you said, the rock was our website. That's all we need is our website. But websites are very important. Like, you have to have one if you want to get your brand out there. And kind of just, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff behind it. I'm not going to get into the details, but
We will.
we will eventually.
Yeah.
But that's for another podcast. But basically, we only had a website. Didn't have a contract for our first client, like a contract system. Didn't have a way to track contracts. Didn't have a way to track payments.
Didn't have a way to collaborate
Didn't
on
have-
anything. Except for
exactly.
like Google Docs.
We had Google Docs and Google Drive.
Yeah.
Didn't have a project management system. Didn't have calendars. We had a contact form that ran through the website and just emailed us. Now it actually goes into
Our CRM
our
system.
CRM system
Yeah.
and books that client, saves that client as a
Which is all like,
contact.
for people who have owned a business, all of this is very like
basic.
stuff, but ultimately, besides like the research that we've done on our own, we've had no real mentorship on running things. So all of this stuff has been trial and error. Like, all of it has been like, actually, most of it has been error. Most of it has just been like, oh, that does not work.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that does not work. Like, oh, Okay, so
Yeah, because I can't tell you how many times we've gone through different systems within just this past 4 months. Like, we're like, all right, let's use this. Then it's like, no, let's use this. So it's
Yeah.
like, I think now we're finally getting a foundation.
the last year, it was kind of like, we kind of talked about it a little bit when we first made the website, and like we knew when we made the website and started everything that we were going to have to come back and redo all of it. We just, mainly me, I was like, I just need income now, and but when we started it, we were both under the understanding that we were going to have to come back and practically do a rebrand, practically redo all of it. So, but we've learned I would say we learned a whole lot through that, and we're still learning, But I think I would agree with you. Is the structure would be the structure of how things have been put together.
I definitely think we didn't expect to take off this quick either.
No,
We've had like a lot of clients since we've started.
Yeah.
Like, it started with one website job and a broken printer. Broken printer.
Broken printer.
And,
thumbtack printer.
And now we're, signing a lot of clients.
Yeah.
And it's growing rapidly compared to where we started. Still want to see a lot of growth. But, I mean, speaking on that, not going to give any details, but the project that you closed last night, it's huge.
Yeah, that's going to help.
It's going to be
that's gonna help a lot.
huge marketing push, but it's going to be huge for establishing our brand in general. Y'all will know eventually.
Yeah, you'll definitely know. We're not gatekeeping it, but I just want to make sure that it all the kinks are worked out. But no, I think that's going to be huge. So we've covered a lot in a little bit of time. I think if we're being transparent, this is the third time that we've done this podcast tonight.
Trial and error.
Trial and error.
More error.
Error. Error. Yeah. And like one piece of advice that I do want to give you guys, a takeaway from this podcast, is that, and I thought of this earlier today, I wanted to bring it in and share with you guys, is that like throughout being a creative, other than YouTube, like I didn't really have a mentor. I didn't have somebody that I could really go to, and when I did, it really was bad. Like it wasn't. After having experience in the industry and having experience just in life, like that mentor was not good. They led me enough. They led me just enough that it would be a whole lot easier for me to fail than it would for me to succeed. And I didn't know what questions to ask. I didn't know, I didn't know a lot of things. And with that being said, like, whatever you do, like, whatever you've been through if it comes to mentors or how you've learned what you know already, don't allow yourself to be discouraged from what you see, like, on social media and what you see from other creators producing, right? One thing that I run into a lot of is, like, if I see another local photographer or local videographer, content creator, whatever, and, support them in just by, like, engaging in their posts or, liking, sharing, whatever that they post. And most of the time, like, I don't get that in return. Like, a lot of the creators that I follow in our area don't do the same thing, and I don't know if they think it's because I'm just a competition and all I want to do is try and take from them, which is far from the case. But it can get discouraging when you're posting and creating and putting stuff out there that, in a way makes you vulnerable. It's like you created this, you're putting it out for whoever sees it to see it.
Yeah.
It makes you vulnerable, and don't take a bad representation of being a mentor or a bad representation or a bad attitude in the creative space is something that is personally against you, like it happens to all of us. So, like, one of the things that we're trying to change with the collective is that, like, I was talking to my buddy the other night, and I don't remember if it was him that said it or if it was me, but the statement came up that, like, knowledge is the things that you learn, right? The things that you obtain and hold on to. But the difference between knowledge and wisdom is what you choose to do with that knowledge is what makes you wise, and you can sit here and read all day long and consume and consume and consume information and know all of this stuff, but what you choose to do with it is what makes you wise. And that's why I strongly believe that like knowledge should be free for everybody, right? Like there should be no reason that creatives are out here just hiding all of these secrets that probably aren't even secrets, you know what I mean? But if somebody looks up to you and trusts you and wants to learn from you, like why would you keep it to yourself? Why wouldn't you want to help? It could be a competition, but at the same time, competition only makes you grow faster. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just want you guys to hold on to the fact that like, if you're going through it, if you're going through that, or you're going through those ruts of like, man, like I'm putting all this work, and it doesn't seem like it's getting me anywhere. Don't look for the validation of somebody else, because it's never gonna make you feel successful, regardless of like how hard you put in the work or effort. If your success is based on what other people think, like it's not gonna be successful. So
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing that I think we kind of agreed on, kind of starting this business, was like a lot of smaller companies, in particular, a lot of like like sole entrepreneurs that run their own brand. So, and they're just starting out, can't really afford marketing and can't afford, to pay somebody to build a website. So it's like, yes, we offer services, but I think our big picture was always, okay, let's put knowledge out there, whether it's through blog posts, podcast.
Speaking of the
tutorials.
Newsletter that we're starting, I don't know if
The
you touched on
newsletter,
that.
yes.
We've got a newsletter. If you go to our website, there's a really obnoxious pop-up.
It'll look a lot better.
It will,
I promise.
yeah.
I haven't had time to
Just
design
messing
it
with you,
yet.
bro. But there's a pop-up that will let you sign up for the newsletter, and we promise not to spam your email. I hate that. We will only send you things. We're not going to try and sell you anything through the newsletter unless it is a pretty good discount. Like the one our sponsor, Innovative Society, is doing in February. They're doing 50% off. If you haven't heard of them, it is Innovative Society Digital Marketing, Digital Production, Digital Media Production, something like that. Did I say that right?
Yeah. And Celsius.
No. But no, we're not gonna like push to sell you anything. We're just gonna send you information when we have podcasts go out or YouTube videos go out, or a new workshop that we're doing or something like that. So sign up for it if you want to. If not, that's cool too. But check out the website.
And I think the long-term goal is eventually, I think, to avoid the spam, building out different audience list, and making sure that people who want web design only get web design, and you're not being spammed with social media management if you don't want it. Now, obviously, we'll have a newsletter that includes all of that, but obviously, you don't have to be a part of that audience list.
Right.
It's really just going to be content that pertains to what you want in the long term. Yep. So, I would definitely say, if you visit our website, definitely sign up for the newsletter, because it will greatly benefit not only you but the people around you. And I've got like just recently I cleaned out my email because I get so sick and tired of like I'll look into something, like I won't even like use the product or go any further than looking into it, and it just keeps emailing me. I'm like, till you block it. You have to block it.
Yeah. So that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that you know that we got the information, or that you have the information available to you. But, overall, kind of in closing, like, I think that what we're trying to do is different. I want to change the narrative for the creative space, especially here, like, in Virginia, in Augusta County. Hopefully it takes over even further up the East Coast. Like, that'd be so sweet. But like, if you're interested in getting involved, like, please reach out to us. We've got, like I said, we've got all social medias, and you can also reach out to our personal social medias as well. Because like my visuals by Kendrick or visuals by Visual by Kendrick, is pretty linked directly with the Innovative Society page. So like, feel free to reach out to me. I respond pretty quickly if I see it, and we'll get you involved. We'll get you in here on the podcast if you want to be on that. If you if you've got a lot of knowledge and wisdom in a certain area and you want to run a workshop, or want to get involved with creating a course yourself, or whatever the case may be, like, reach out. We'd definitely be interested in working with you and getting you on here. So we want to be able to create the platform.
Exactly.
So yeah. You got anything else?
No, not that I can think of. The only thing is, follow our socials to keep up to date. Subscribe to the newsletter if you want content that will start rolling out. Subscribe to the podcast.
yeah. I don't know where we're gonna put the podcast yet, except for YouTube.
And then I don't know. Well, we've got to kind of experiment, but
yeah,
we'll get it all set up. It'll also be streamed through the website. That way, y'all can access it through the website, listen to it on the website, all that good stuff. It's. I think this is gonna be a good thing.
I think so
for
too. I think
everybody in the area. I mean, we've already got a great group of
just so
businesses
you're aware, like, we are starting the Innovative Collective. However, the foundation is already there. It's just rolling out the content now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is already a group that has started, and we're going to be starting a Facebook page as well. But there's already a group that has started. It's not going to be a membership thing. The only rule is that you're there for the right reasons. That's it. Like, people don't want to be spammed by stuff. People don't want random, like, posts and things like that. Like, that's the only rule, is that you're there for the right reasons, and that's to learn and to teach practically. And it, I don't want to call it a safe space, because like me and you, we dog on each other all the time, but it's out of love.
It's out of love.
But it's a place that you can share what you create too, and get feedback on it in a good sense, like in a good type of atmosphere, I guess you would say. So check it out if you're interested. If there's anything that you guys definitely want to see on the podcast, or want to see content-wise or tutorial-wise, like cameras, web design, graphic design, we got some graphic design tutorials coming out that we're going to be doing, some Photoshop tutorials and things like that. So please reach out to us. Please let us know what you want to see, and I guess we'll see you on the next one. Yeah?
Yes. Leave comments.
Yeah.
We want feedback.
Leave comments. Go to our Google. Leave a 5-star review. And the best review that we get, I'll give you a $25 Chick-fil-A gift card. And if you don't eat Chick-fil-A, first of all, what's wrong with you? Chick-fil-A is awesome. But secondly, I'll get you a $25 gift card to wherever you want to go. So, best review.
It'll be positive or negative. Whatever gives us the best feedback.
As long as it's funny and it's not too provocative, right? So, if it is a negative comment and you're trying to be funny, just make sure that it actually is funny. Because I would love to read some of them. That'd be awesome. So, love you guys. Thanks for coming through, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.